Remember, children, my adopted mother tells my adopted sisters and I, when you help other people, they are more likely to help you when you in turn need help. I am with my adopted family, my mother and my two sisters. We are in the living room of our house, sitting on the plush sofas with gold edges, talking. We are beside the big window that has a lively view of the woods outside of our house, woods I am very familiar with. I like talking to my family, mostly. There is something about it that makes me slightly desolated, but I don't know why. My family is nice, but I'm sad. I'm beyond sad. I'm always sad, and I don't know why. There must be some kind of chemical imbalance in my brain. Well, whatever. My mother has spent enough money on me already. Money is precious. I don't need her spending more money on getting me therapy and medication and all of that. I just need to deal with my sadness all by myself. Even though it's so great, even though it's so terrible, I am stronger than they think I am. I have to be strong, no matter how hard it is. That makes sense, my sister Annabella responds. Gratitude is a very strong emotion and can come in very handy. Annabella is very beautiful because of the complicated skincare routine she does each day using all natural, fair trade products. Exactly, my other sister Riviera agrees. When people in a society all owe each other, that makes the society more tight-knit, and they become more able to withstand adversity and obstacles, ultimately benefiting the individual. Riviera is very smart. It shows through in the way she talks, in what she says, in everything about her. She reads lots of books and absorbs so much knowledge from them. Compared to these two girls, I cannot help but feel as if I'm inadequate. I'm not pretty, I'm not smart, I'm not able to do anything special. I'm just a normal girl. I don't know what I'm able to give to this family. I don't know what I am able to give to this town. I can only try my best. And this sinks down heavy into me, because it's never enough, not truly. My best is never enough. My existence is never enough. I'm not worth all the resources that get wasted on me. There are so many people who are so much more worthy. That's right, Mother tells us. When the group is doing well, the group can take care of you better. We are social beings, us humans, and social interaction is all about give and take. The more you can give, the more you can take. You only get what you give, Annabella declares. Those who can give more get more. Exactly, my mother agrees. My adopted mother is a very wise woman. She has so much knowledge. And because she has so much knowledge, she is able to do very well for herself and her family. She is able to thrive in this corrupted world. She has a large house that she has bought, filled with many pretty things, and she was able to take me in as well. She has raised me since I was a newborn. I almost don't remember my biological parents, though I suppose that's a good thing. They gave me up. They probably didn't want me. My adopted mother has done so much to take care of me. I really shouldn't be missing people I barely remember. But I do. I miss them so much. I don't know why I miss them. I don't know what I miss. But the absence of my parents sits heavy in my chest, in my throat, in my gut, all the time. I don't know how to escape this feeling. I feel as if something vital and integral to who I am has been ripped from me. I feel as if I am walking around with an emptiness in my chest, in my stomach, in my throat. I feel as though I am walking around with an emptiness in my soul, as if it's all not mine, as if all the pieces of me are all not mine. My life is not mine. Nothing is mine. I feel inhuman, I feel unliving, I feel non-existent, yet horribly, horribly, intolerably existent at the same time, as if I am some horrible, wretched beast made of a slime that is too disgusting to be real and too tangible to be fake. I am a hollow shell, I am nothing, yet I am something, I am a thing. What do you think, little Zia? Annabella asks me. I think you guys are very wise, I respond to her. I'm learning a lot listening to you guys talking. That's good, my mother tells me. The more you learn, the more you'll be able to fulfill your role in society. Thanks, I tell her. So what are some ways you can build gratitude within the people in your life? Mother asks us. We can give them things, Riviera suggests. A debt of a material nature is probably the hardest debt to pay back, especially if they do not have much access to resources. Yes, Annabella cuts in, and they'll be trying to make up the difference in all sorts of other ways. This is a great way to build long-term loyalty. Loyalty is a very important resource, I say. You never know when you're going to need it. We keep on talking, the four of us, until we see the sun set outside. It is a glorious, burning orange color that fades out into gold higher up in the sky. But it's more than color. It's so much more than color, so beyond color, that it isn't even color at all, but rather pure emotion. It fills me with a sense of wonder. It almost feels like home, feels like belonging, feels like all of these feelings that are denied to me. I almost cry with joy as I look out at the sunset in silence, along with the rest of my family. That's beautiful, Riviera comments, a high sort of awe in her voice. Look at the colors, Mother says. Red, orange, yellow, so very vibrant and bright. It's glorious, I agree. It's dinner time after that, and we gather in the large dining room, bringing all the bowls of food up to the table. Thank you, Zia, my mother tells me. I smile at her. She's so nice. I tell myself that she's nice. I tell myself that she appreciates me. She appreciates what I do for her. She appreciates what I do for the family. Though it's not enough, it's never enough to make up for all the things she has done for me. I sit down at my own spot at the large, intricately carved, polished wooden table. I sit down in front of my shimmering silver placemat and give myself a healthy heaping of the vegetable and beef stew that we cooked together yesterday. The food is good. The food is always good. But there is a part of me that feels almost guilty for eating it. I don't know why. It feels criminal, the act of giving myself food. Although there's plenty of food to go around, there is always plenty of food to go around. We keep talking as we eat. We're a close-knit family. We talk whenever we get the chance to. I try my best to keep a cheerful expression in tone. I try my best to not let anyone see what's going on inside of me. I'm in such a bright and cheerful room with such bright and cheerful people. I should be nothing but bright and cheerful myself, so that I can at least pretend to fit in, so that I can at least pretend to belong. And they're none the wiser. They don't suspect that I don't belong here. They don't suspect that I don't belong among them. And I'm such a liar and such a traitor, but they would be so disappointed to know the truth. I absolutely dread disappointing them. Take some more stew, my mother tells me. There's plenty to go around. I'm in my room. The door is locked from the inside. It locks from the outside too, which is a bit scary, but it's that way with all the doors in the house. I'm glad that I'm alone right now. It means that I don't have to pretend. I don't have to put on a mask and pretend to be happy in front of everyone else. And that's a huge burden lifted from my shoulders. Though the heavy weight of sadness is still there, it's always there, and I don't know what to do with it. Being alone most of the time would kill me. Being alone most of the time would kill me even more. And I'm very genuinely glad that I have plenty of company, but having some time alone is welcome. So I lie in my bed. I lie in my soft bed under my soft blankets, and I cry. I look up at the ceiling, and I let my tears fall freely. Why I'm crying, I have no idea. I have no idea why I'm crying, but I'm crying anyways. And I do know why I'm crying. I know that it's because it's all wrong. It's all so terribly wrong. Everything is wrong. My life is wrong. Who I am as a person is wrong. It's all twisted. It's all corrupt. It's all dark and thorny, and it's not right. And the thorns of everything I am inside are piercing my flesh, piercing my organs, piercing my capillaries until my entire body is bleeding. My mind is bleeding. My heart is bleeding. My soul is bleeding. I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. Everything inside me is bleeding, and everything I am is bleeding. My existence is slipping through my fingers. I am slipping through my fingers. I am losing more and more of myself. I am leaving myself until there is nothing of me left. But I'm here, I'm irrevocably here at the same time. And I can't escape. I am no one, I am nothing. I am less than no one, I am less than nothing. And I cannot ever be anything because everything I am is twisted. Everything I am is nothing, it's less than nothing. Everything I am is wrong, and everything about me is wrong. And it's so wrong, and it's so wrong, and it's all wrong, and my whole life is so wrong. I don't know why I feel like my life is wrong, but I know it is. There is no reason to think this. There is no reason for me to hate this life that I'm living. No reason to be disturbed by it. But I am disturbed. I am so disturbed. But my life is fine. I go to school and the teachers are nice and the kids are nice. I get decent grades. They're not extremely good, but they're pretty good. I have a few people I talk to at lunchtime. I go home and my home life is good. My mother is nice. My sisters are nice. They all treat me well. Everyone treats me well. So why do I feel like this? It must be because I am deeply horrible. I am deeply ungrateful. I am deeply unsalvageable. There are so many people who have it worse than me. There are so many people who have it so much worse than me. So why can I not be happy with all that I have? Why can I not be grateful for everything? It's all going right. It's all going so very right, and yet it's all going wrong. It must be because of me that it feels so very wrong. It must be because of some fault of my own. I have so many faults. I have so many flaws. I can't sleep at night. I'm lazy. I'm ungrateful. I can't be happy. I'm not pretty or kind or a good student or outgoing or brave or clever or wise or anything. I'm not athletic. I'm not coordinated. I'm not even organized. It's all not enough. Everything I do and everything I am, it's all not enough. It's all not enough, and I'm so inadequate, and I'm so wrong. I'll never be enough. I'll never be enough, no matter what I do, no matter who I be. It's all not going to ever be enough, and I'm going to not ever be enough. Because the thing that is so wrong with me is intrinsic, it's inherent, it's so deep that it reaches its scarred, infected tendrils down to my very core, through my blood, through my bone marrow. It's so all-reaching that it claws and grasps and wraps around every part of me, around my throat, around my eyes, around my fingers and toes and my stomach and my knees. It is both invading me and residing with me as if it was meant to be there always. I guess it was meant to be there always. I guess this is all I am. I feel poison in every part of me, poison in my bloodstream, poison rushing through all my veins, all my arteries, all my venules, all my arterioles, all my capillaries. The poison is flowing through me as if it is blood. It is plunging inside me and entering all the space around my cells. All my interstitial fluid is full of dark, corrupted, thick poison. It is entering my cells, and my cytosol is saturated with it. My lymphatic tissue is flowing with poison, and my lymph nodes cannot clean it out because there is just so much. My cerebral fluid is filled with poison, and the poison is surging through my brain. It's surging everywhere. And the thick, viscous, vicious black fluid is pouring through all the many, many tiny holes and punctures and tears that are all over my body. That's what it feels like, at least. It feels like the thorns of who I am have pierced through all over my body, leaving me torn and ripped and punctured and bleeding. And the poison is seeping through all the holes, is seeping out into the world. It's corroding my skin, it's staining my bed sheets and blankets and pillows. It's leaving inerasable marks that only I can ever see. If my family knew who I truly was, if they knew what I truly was, then they would be disgusted, I'm sure. They would be disgusted and shocked and betrayed. They'd be so betrayed. They spent so much money on me. So much money and time and effort. So much care and consideration. All for me to turn out like this. All for me to turn out like this disgusting, insufferable mess of a human being. I let them down. I owe them so much, and I let them down. They'd throw me out if they knew if they knew how I really felt, if they knew what I truly was, if they knew that the girl they tried to make into their daughter was so ungrateful, so miserable, despite everything that she has, despite everything that's been given to her, then they would definitely throw me out, and they'd have every right in the world to. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve my family and all the care that they have given to me. I wonder what my biological family is like. I wonder what they would think of me. They probably do not care about me at all. They probably haven't given me a second thought after giving me away. What kind of parents wouldn't make sure that they could be there for their own child? What kinds of parents wouldn't raise their own child? Of course, it's possible that they had to give me away because they were too mentally ill or too poor or too addicted or whatnot to take care of a child. It could be that they wanted to raise me, they wanted to support me, but they just couldn't. Even if that was the case, though, it would still be their own fault. It would still be their own fault for giving me away. Because as my adopted mother said, everybody who is mentally ill or poor or addicted actually secretly chooses it. So according to her, my parents could have raised me if they wanted to. And she's right, of course. She's always right. I hate my parents, but I love them. I love them, but I hate them, but I want them and I need them, despite the fact that they've let me down so much. And I love my mother, but there is a part of me that cannot trust her. I don't know why I can't trust her. She's been nothing but kind to me during my whole entire life, but something just feels off. I know I shouldn't be feeling like this. I know that there's no reason for me to be feeling like this, but something is off. Something is so very off. It's probably just me. What's off is probably just me, just my unending hunger, just my desire for more than this perfectly happy, healthy, middle-class life that I'm living. I'm not a good person. I don't abide by the rules and the teachings that my mother is teaching me. I want to. Dear universe, I really, really want to, but I just can't. I'm just not capable, no matter how hard I try. Or maybe I am capable and I'm just not trying hard enough. Perhaps this is all my fault. It probably is. I don't know whether it's worse to not want to be a good person hard enough or whether it's worse to not be capable of being a good person at all. But I know that I must surely be the worst one, whichever one is worst. I am still crying. I haven't stopped crying. I have no idea how long I've been lying here. I'm supposed to be asleep. I was supposed to have gone to sleep long ago. I've probably been awake here for an hour. I never get enough sleep at night. Not that anybody knows this, but for some strange reason, I am never tired during the days. I must not need that much sleep, I guess, but still, night is for sleeping. All the proper people sleep at night. I should be sleeping at night as well. The house is so quiet, it's eerie, and I'm still crying. So how was school today? Our mother asks us from behind the wheel of the 8-seat SUV. It's a huge car, plenty of space for all of us. There's screens on the back of each seat so that the kids in the back can watch movies and play games. But we're not going to do that in the 15-minute drive to get home from school. The sun is setting behind us. My siblings and I are in the second row. It's idyllic, but I'm still drowning in my hidden mystery. In my hidden misery. It was great, Riviera pipes up. She is playing with the end of her strawberry blonde braid. Both the sisters have red hair, but my mother is blonde. They must have gotten their genes from the sperm donor. They were both conceived medically, but my mother didn't want to be pregnant again, but she wanted a third child. I have raven black hair. I got invited to a party, Annabella speaks. It's this Saturday at Clara's house. Can I go? Of course, my child. What are the rest of your guys' plans for the weekend? I'm going to a movie with my friends, Riviera chimes. It's the new Shadow Lady movie. Oh, that should be fun. What are you doing, Zia? I'm just staying home and studying. I'm behind on some homework. It's a good idea to study, my mother agrees. It's how you can develop your mind so that you can contribute more to society. We know, Mama, we know. Annabella's voice has a hint of playful frustration to it. You girls are all very smart, our mother tells us. You all have so much to give to the world. Aw, thanks, I tell her, trying to put as much sincerity into my voice as I can. What are you guys learning about? We're learning about batteries, Annabella explains. And it's the way that electrons flow through the batteries. It's really quite interesting. The metals that lose their electrons become ions, and the ions that gain electrons become metals. We're learning about how to divide polynomials, Riviera starts. It's actually pretty easy, but most people in my class find it hard. I don't know why. I'm sure it's easy for you. I'm sure it's easy for both of you, is it not? Yes, Annabella replies. It was okay. It was okay last semester when I learned it. There is so much knowledge and wisdom to be learned in school. Yes, there is, Mother. My voice is smooth and warm, the opposite of how I feel inside. Always pay close attention in school, she replies back. School will teach you many great wisdoms. Of course, Mom, Riviera responds. You see how well I'm doing. I do. School will help us make that cold hard cash, Annabella chirps. Absolutely, my mother agrees, and that's definitely very important. What's also important, though, is the fact that school will increase your wisdom and knowledge. It will teach you how the world works. It will teach you why things are the way they are. It will teach you how things work, how nature works, how the universe works, how people work. It will teach you how to go about your lives in a good and respectable way. You're right, Mother, I tell her. School has so many important messages, so many deep and hard-hitting messages. Yes, you girls need to make sure to pay attention so that you can understand these messages and become truly enlightened. I think about everything that I've learned in school. Math, science, history, grammar, how to analyze literary motifs, statistics, atoms and neutrons and quarks and positrons, the body and all its failings. They were all interesting, doubtlessly. I have always found school interesting. But still, I always feel like there might be something more. I always feel like there had to be something more than all these particles and molecules and metaphors. There had to be something deeper than that. But I keep these thoughts to myself. I am probably only holding on to fantasy. I am definitely wrong. Of course, there isn't anything miraculous and magical about the world. Of course, all that we see is all that there is in this life, the only life. I just am still immature. I'm still a child. I want something indescribable and inexpressible and altogether completely unreasonable. This is how a child thinks. This is what a child wants. I'm 15. I need to grow up. What is the most interesting things you guys have learned in school? Annabella asks. Oh, probably that everything is made up of other smaller things. Nothing is absolute except for space and time. Wow, that's very deep, I comment. It's really almost mystical. The real world is more than mystical, Annabella states. It's better than any magic. So it is, I agree, so it is. But is it really, I wonder? Is things being made of smaller things, being made of smaller things, being made of smaller things, until you get down to the waves, the ripples in space-time itself? Is that really better than magic? It has to be, after all. It's so cool. But despite being cool, there is a hollowness to it. There just has to be something more. Despite how cool it is, it's not enough. Except it is enough. It has to be enough. It's all that there is. This is making me feel hollow. This entire conversation is making me feel hollow. Yet I swallow down the hollowness. I don't know why it's here. It has no place. It doesn't deserve to be here. This is a perfectly normal conversation between a perfectly normal family. I swallow down the hollowness, and I swallow down my tears, and I try my best to not choke on either of these things. I always try my best, and I always fail. I wish so very desperately that I could cry. I tilt my head to the side. I lean on the cool glass of the car window. The conversation flows on around me, and I weave my way through it the best as I can. I genuinely do love talking to people, including my family. It makes all the hurt just a little bit less. No, it makes all the hurt just a little bit less. And it makes my life just a little bit less storm-drenched, a little bit less shadow-covered. But this topic that we're talking about, dear universe, I hate it. It's Sunday. We are working, all four of us, cleaning the house. It's nice how we all share our work and we all share our responsibility. I couldn't have asked for a better family if I tried. Though part of me still wants to try, I am dusting the many shelves and tables and cabinets that we have. It's really rather tedious work, but thankfully Annabella is helping me. We are working in tandem. It's nice, it really is. But still I'm drowning, still the poison is seeping through all parts of me. But there is music playing in the background from Annabella's phone, which is on the ground. It's nice music from her favorite playlist. It's nice music, but it is a bit too cheery for my taste. Too cheery, too smooth, too warm. I like music that is sad. I like music that is cold and rough and cut open jagged. Music that is desperate, though truly no music can even come remotely close to brushing against the true depths of how I feel. All music pools on the very surface edges of me, so I don't really like music at all. We carefully move all the decorations to one side of the carved wooden shelf that we are cleaning right now. This takes a bit of time since there are so many decorations, both big and small, colorful and flowing and made of so very many different types of material. It's beautiful, but I cannot take in the beauty of it. I cannot take in the beauty of any of it. I am too sad. It's a pity, really. My mother spent so much money on this house, and I can't even appreciate most of it. She always spends so much money on this family. She always gives so much to this family. But far too often, I am far more ungrateful than I should be. I really am really rotten inside. We work at an unhurried, almost leisurely pace, Annabella and I. Actually, all of us do. Because we're at home, we're not at work. No one's forcing us to do this. No one's paying us. We don't have to rush ourselves. And anyways, there are so very many delicate little pieces everywhere. It would be a bad idea to get careless. I mean, Mother will probably understand if we break something, but still, I don't want to cause any problems for her. We finish moving everything on the side of the shelf and we pass our dusters over the surface. Now we just have to do the same thing for the other side of the shelf, and then we have to rearrange all the decorations. We arrange all the decorations differently each time we put them back. That's a clever idea Riviera came up with, and it always changes the way that the house looks. It always gives a new feeling to the house. Since each shelf is rearranged every once in a while, there is always something different to look at. If only I could appreciate it. You're doing a great job, Annabella tells me, cheeriness in her voice. Thanks, Annabella, you are too. It's nice working together, isn't it? It is, I say, and it both is and isn't a lie. I appreciate her company, her companionship, her help, but my life is not nice. I don't know why. These shelves were so dusty when we started out. They look so much better now. They do, I agree. This house is so big, it's inevitable that things will get dusty. Yes, it is inevitable. There is a hint of tiredness in her voice. There's always more work to do. Yes. Should we move on to the next piece? She asks. We are done with this intricate, multi-layered shelf, but there is a lot more furniture to get through. Not that we have to finish everything today. It would be very difficult to finish everything in one day. I don't want to push Annabella too hard. Sure, where to now? Let's go to the television stand on this floor. Sounds good. There are a bunch of televisions in our house, one in the basement, one in the sunroofed attic upstairs. My mother and my two sisters both have televisions in their rooms. And there is the main television, which is as wide as I am tall, on the first floor. It's for all of us. But my mother asked me if I wanted a television as well. I told her that I didn't want one, since I don't want to use up any more of her money than I had to. I wonder if I would be happier with a television. I don't really need one, but still, I'm the only one that doesn't have one. We move on to the large shelf of the television, which is raised eye level to the couches. There's a lot of stuff to move around here as well. Moving stuff around always takes the most time. My sisters say they like it though, because they can focus on all the very pretty things we have around. But I don't feel the same way. I can't focus on all this stuff, ever. Like I said before, there's something strange about me, something deeply wrong with me. How are you girls doing? Our mother asks us. Doing fine. How about you? Annabella replies. I'm doing all right myself. You guys have gotten a lot done. Good job. Thank you, Mother, I answer. So I'm thinking this is enough work for today, our mother begins. What do you girls think? Do you want to keep working? I think we've had enough for today, Annabella answers. What do you think, Sia? Well, if you guys are thinking of wrapping up, then I'm fine with that. My voice is a lot smoother than how I feel. I think we should go and eat dinner, our mother suggests. I can order food for us. What restaurant do you guys want to eat from? Mother's eyes are darkened with worry, with a light sort of terror. It makes my heart freeze with hard ice in my chest. I don't know why she has gathered us all around her, sitting around the dining table, despite there being no plates in front of us. Whatever it is, it cannot be good. We all look at her and at each other worriedly and solemnly. What is it, Mom? Annabella asks. My girls, she begins, I have terrible news to impart to you. The bank that has all of our savings, that has my paycheck for these next 6 months. This bank has been robbed. Now we have nothing, no money, no paycheck, nothing. But can't the bank give us back our money? Riviera asks, concern and disbelief flowing through her voice. I'm afraid not, our mother replies. The bank has been robbed to the ground. They have nothing left to give to anybody. What about the government? Annabella suggests. Can't they help? The government doesn't help normal people like us, and you know this, our mother replies, fear laced into her words. But it's not fair, Riviera complains. It's not our fault that our money got robbed. It's not our fault at all. Shouldn't the government be able to do something to help? The government is corrupt, and we all know it. Our mother's voice is laced with resignation. They do not have any morals. They do not care about what is fair and what isn't. All they care about is their own money and their own power. That's really unfair, Mother, I speak. What will we do now? That's what I've been meaning to talk to you girls about, our mother starts. These next 6 months will be extra tight. We won't be able to do all the things that we normally do. Like what? Riviera asks. What won't we be able to do? We won't be able to spend anything, our mother replies. We won't be able to buy new clothes. We won't be able to buy new shoes, no new technology, no new toys, no new video games, no new decorations or blankets or anything. Will we still be able to watch movies and shows on our streaming? Will we still be able to watch movies and shows on our streaming services? Annabella asks. No, our mother responds. In fact, we have to stop our subscriptions to all of our streaming services, and we will have to stop our connection to the internet itself. No internet? Riviera echoes, an incredulous tone in her voice. Yes, I'm afraid, our mother answers. No internet, nothing fun. I'm so sorry that we're all going through all of this. I speak to my family. I'm sure that we'll make it through this. I'm sure that we'll make it to the other side of this. I keep my voice calm, smooth, solemn, calming. I look around at the eyes of my entire family. They are all shocked, all full of dread, all full of a horrible anticipation and a dreadful resignation. I feel as though I'm the only one who's even a little bit calm. I feel as though I'm the only one with her head on even a little bit straight. And that means that I have to be the one that calms everyone down and makes everyone feel a bit better. Will we really make it to the other side of this? Riviera asks worriedly. We will, I promise, I assure her. I assure them all. They have to have hope. Through this shocking event, I have to make sure that my family has hope. We will be able to get through to the other side. We will be able to get through to the other side of this, our mother echoes. We're a strong family. We're a close family. We're a tight-knit family. We'll get through this. So what else will we have to go without? Annabella questions. We won't be able to go out either, our mother answers. We won't be able to go out to the movies or to dances. We won't be able to go to nightclubs or restaurants or theaters or performances. We won't be able to go to the museum or the art gallery or to any concerts. We'll just have to stay home, and we'll have to try to conserve money and gas. What on earth? Annabella's voice is incredulous. How will we survive that? How will we be able to live through all of that? This is an atrocity. I agree, Riviera exclaimed. You can't expect us to live like this. It's simply far, far too much. How will we live without anything fun? How will we live when life is so boring? I know it will be hard, girls, I know. But we have to deal with this. We have to play the cards that we've been dealt. Exactly, I echo. We still have our big, pretty house. And we still have all the nice things and the pretty furnitures in our house. We can also take walks. We can see all the other pretty houses in the community of the forest. And we can see their pretty gardens. We can walk through the forest. That's free. And I know how much you all like to do that. I try to keep a positive attitude. I try to help my sisters keep as positive of an attitude as they can. The universe knows that we will need it. Exactly, our mother agrees. And besides, this is only 6 months. We will switch to a different bank. And when my paycheck comes again in 6 months, we will have as much money as we used to have before. We'll be able to pay for everything we used to be able to pay for. Ugh, fine, Annabella concedes. What about all our debts? Riviera asks. How will we pay those? Will we be able to hold off on paying those? What will we do? We will be able to hold off on paying most of our debts until my next payday comes, our mother explains. At this, my sisters smile. I force a smile myself. I talked to the bank. They said they would pause payments on most debts. That's great, Annabella explains. That was really nice of them. So it was, I agree. Don't get your hopes up too high, our mother cautions us. There are still some debts we have to pay off, like our mortgage, for example. The bank says that we will have to pay that even though we lost all our money. What? Annabella exclaims, exasperation and anger in her voice. How will we do that? Our house is so big. Our mortgage is so big. What will happen if we don't pay? Riviera asks. Then our house will be gone, and if our house is gone, we'll be out on the streets, and my job will be gone too. Let's hope that doesn't happen. It won't happen, I assure my family. We'll find a way to stop that from happening. We will, our mother presses, and we'll find a way to pay for our heating and water bills too. Those are also bills we're not allowed to put on hold. That's horrible, Riviera exclaims. This is so horrible. It happens, our mother explains. These things, they just happen sometimes. So what else will we have to go without? Annabella asks. Don't tell us that we won't be able to eat either. That's the thing, our mother begins. We might not be able to eat. The universe knows that I don't have the money for food right now, but we'll find a way, I promise. What? Annabella and Riviera both exclaim together in a messy, off-time unison. They both begin talking at the same time. No, talking is the wrong word. They both begin almost screaming at the same time, speaking so fast and in such a panicked way. Even my calm exterior cracks. How on earth are we supposed to get through this? How on earth are we supposed to go 6 months with no food? I try to keep my face neutral. I try to not let the fear that I'm feeling show. I have to stay calm for my family. I have to stay collected for my family. I think I'm the only one who is holding everyone together, and I have to hold everyone together. It does not matter how much pure dread I am feeling inside me. It doesn't matter that inside me there is a terrible foreboding, a feeling that something is going to go terribly wrong, even more terribly wrong than what is happening right now. Girls, calm down, our mother yells, voice laced with love and worry and concern. Even now, her voice is loving. Even in the midst of so much stress, she loves her children. She is such an amazing mother, despite everything I so very irrationally feel inside. My sisters do calm down, and we are left looking at each other with dread and hopelessness. I force myself to smile, just a little thing, a placating thing that offers perhaps a small bit of comfort. Girls, our mother begins, I will make sure that our family has all the food that it can have. I will make sure that our family has all the food that it needs. I will make sure that we can continue paying our mortgage and that we can continue paying our electricity bills and our water bills and our car payments. I will make sure that we have enough to get by. Don't worry, girls. I will make sure. I will continue to provide for my family. How will we do that? Riviera asks. I will ask our friends and our family for help. They will help us in paying our mortgage. They will help us in paying our electricity bills and water bills. They will help us in paying for our food. We have many friends, many family members. They will pull through for us. They will give what they can. But don't they have their own bills to pay? Riviera asks. They do, but they will spare what they can, our mother answers. Will that be enough? Annabella asks. It will be what it is, our mother answers. Whatever we can get from them, whatever money we can get from them, we will make it stretch as much as we can make it stretch, and we will do as much with the money as we can. We will get by. We will get by, I echo. I have faith in Mother and in her ability to help her family and her ability to make things work. She's so smart, so brilliant, so resourceful. She'll help us through this, I'm sure. She can do it. If she can't do it, then no one can. Thank you, Zia. I appreciate your brave and resilient outlook on this situation. Our mother smiles at me. It's a tiny thing, a fleeting thing, but something that gives me strength anyways, something that gives me courage anyways. But still, I cannot get rid of this feeling in my heart that something truly terrible is about to happen, something far more terrible than this situation that we found ourselves in, something intimately tied to the situation that we found ourselves in. What about our debts? Annabella asks. If we ask for help, what about the debts? Annabella asks. If we ask for help from our friends and family, won't that mean we have a debt to them? How will we pay that back? They have a debt to us, our mother answers. We have helped them many times in the past, and they have amassed quite a bit of debt to us. They will surely consider our ask for help as a way to pay back the debt that they have, not a way to extract debt from us. You are truly wise, Mama, Riviera declares with a hint of joy in her voice. You can truly get us out of the worst situations. You have truly thought this through. Thank you, my daughter, our mother responds. Now, if you will excuse me, I have many, many phone calls to make. It's been 3 weeks since that terrible, terrible family talk when my mother told us what a situation we were in. It has been 3 weeks, and the food in our fridges and pantries are almost all out. Our food is almost all out, but my mother has spent so many hours calling people and getting whatever help she could from them. She has called everyone we know so far and gotten many pledges of support. Let's just hope that it's enough. It's Saturday now. It's Saturday, and my sisters are off at friends' houses, trying to make our food stretch by partaking in theirs. I don't really have any close friends, so I'm just sitting on the couch. It's a nice couch. It's a soft couch. It's a soft and nice couch, and I kind of like sitting here, just thinking my thoughts. As always, my thoughts run melancholy, my emotions run melancholy, everything inside me runs melancholy, and there is very little that I can do about that, despite all my hardest efforts. But still, I don't feel as guilty for feeling sad right now, not as much as I usually do, because the universe knows that I have plenty good reason to be sad right now. We all do. Zia, my mother speaks to me, grabbing onto my forearm and leading me away to my room. I need to talk to you. She doesn't grab me like this very often. Her voice is urgent, almost furtive, and her eyes are darkened. Her whole expression is darkened. Fear spikes in my heart. What is about to happen right now? It can surely be nothing good. But my mother wouldn't hurt me, would she? Of course she wouldn't hurt me. My mind is sure, but my guilty, traitorous heart is not so sure. What is it, Mother? I ask her, voice soft and conceding. I have to talk to you about our financial situation, she presses. I'm sure you know how much trouble we're in. I do. Why? This is not looking good. Is my family in more trouble than I thought? What are we going to do about this? Why is she telling only me? What can I do about this? Well, I talked to our friends and family. They are supporting us, but they do not have the money to support us fully. Oh no. My eyes go wide. What will we do now? That's what I meant to talk to you about, she starts. We have enough money to pay off the mortgage, and that comes first. Because without the mortgage, we'll be out on the street, and I won't have a job. That's good. And we have enough money for food. But here's the thing, we don't have enough food for everyone. Oh no, what will we do? I can feed your sisters, but I can't feed you more than 1 meal a day. You will have to eat your lunch at school and then just wait after you come home. Just wait for these next few months to be over. Excuse me? I cannot believe what my own mother is saying. You will have to eat 1 meal a day, okay? Okay, I reply. And really, it's the only thing that I can say. It's the only way I can reply. Because she's my mother. She's given me so much. How else could I possibly reply to her? You can do that, right? For your sisters and for me? So that we have enough to eat? Her voice is almost pleading, but it also has a firm, pressing quality to it. And as always, I cannot deny her. I cannot deny her at all. Not even a bit. Of course, Mother. I knew you would answer in this way. I knew that you would understand. You're a good girl, a righteous girl. You make the right decision and do what is proper and decent and just. But, Mother, I begin. What is it, child? If I said no, what would you have done? Then I still couldn't have given you food, I'm sorry. I have to make sure your 2 sisters get enough food. I don't quite understand why she's singling me out to be the one that starves. I don't quite understand, but at the same time I do understand. I understand it in the back of my mind, in the small, rebellious part of my heart that has been plaguing me since I was young. I cannot believe what's going on, but my worst fears are coming true. Mother, I begin, trying to keep the fear out of my voice. What is it, my girl? Why am I the one that has to go hungry? I know I am not really supposed to ask this question. I know I am not really allowed to ask this question. I know I am only allowed to go along with what my mother wants. But I cannot help but to ask it anyways. I just have to know why. You know about debts and owing people, right? There is a bit of forced, fake brightness in her voice. You know that you must pay back the people who have helped you, right? Yes, Mother. Well, this is your way to pay me back, to pay this family back, for all that we have helped you over the years. See, we took you in and fed you and clothed you and sheltered you, and now you need to pay us back for all that. You need to pay us back by making a sacrifice. Okay, Mother. You're a good girl. I know that you can make sacrifices for what is good and right, and I know that you can pay back your debts. That makes sense. What she's saying makes sense. She's not withholding food from me because she doesn't love me. She's not starving me because she doesn't love me. She does love me. She's just withholding food from me because it's the good, right, and just thing to do. She's only doing it because it's what's moral and proper to do. She's just following her morals, not her heart. And of course, she has to follow her morals, not her heart. She still loves me in her heart. She still does, but still. Why do I owe you a debt and my sisters don't? You raised them as well. I know I am asking too many questions. I shouldn't be asking so many questions. I silently curse my traitorous mouth. I brought your sisters into the world, my mother explains, and thus it is my job to take care of them and provide for them and raise them. It's not a debt that they're procuring, because it is simply my responsibility to take care of them. It is not something kind and generous that I am doing for them that I did not have to do. You, on the other hand, though, I didn't bring you into the world. You are not someone I have to have responsibility towards. And yet I took you in anyways. And yet I provided for you and helped you and fed you and sheltered you and raised you anyways, even though I didn't have to. And therefore, everything I did for you was an act of kindness. An act of kindness that you have to repay somehow. You owe it to us. We have no obligation to give you a home, and yet we did. In fact, without me taking care of you when you were weak and helpless and defenseless, you might have died, and so you owe us your life. I understand, I tell my mother, but do I truly understand? I should understand. Everything that she said made perfect sense. She had to take care of my sisters, but she didn't have to take care of me. And so I absolutely do owe her Don't Die. She's right. Of course she's right. She's wise and caring and kind and just. And of course she's always right. I'm glad you understand, my girl, my mother tells me. She smiles fondly at me, and I smile back at her. I love her smiles. She leaves me in my room and closes the door behind her. I hear the lock clicking shut from the outside, and my heart skips a beat in fear. I quickly calm myself down, though, telling myself that my mother would, of course, have a good reason for locking the door. Of course she would. She has a good reason for all that she does, and the only reason that I am locked in is because I have a good reason to be. I go to my soft bed and I curl up. I hug my knees to my chest and lie against the pillow on my side, looking at the forest outside the window. The trees are beautiful. They have always been beautiful, and I wish they could succeed more than they are. But still, I am deeply thankful for these trees from the very center of my core. There is no one here right now, so I allow myself to cry. I allow myself to cry, and I allow myself to miss the things that I have no right to miss. My mother is right. She's so very right. She's very smart and wise and knowledgeable and learned. She's a pillar in the community, helping all the people around her, and she has so much knowledge from so many places. She knows very well how the world works and what each person's place is within it. She knows very well what roles we are all supposed to play and how we can all play these roles. She knows very well what roles I'm supposed to play and how I can play these roles. She knows what my place is, and I must believe her. I must learn from her. I must believe her, and I must learn from her so that I too know what my place in the world is and how to play the role that I am supposed to play, that I am obliged to pay. She's right. She didn't have to take me in. She didn't have to take care of me and protect me, and yet she did. She did take care of me and protect me for so long. She took care of me so well, and she will take care of me again once this emergency is over. She did not have to do any of this. She was not obliged to do any of this. And yet she did it anyways. She did it anyways out of the kindness of her heart, because she is just such a kind person, and she is raising her children as well to be such kind people. She didn't raise my sisters out of the kindness of her heart. She raised them because she was obliged to, because she was obliged to take care of them, because she was obliged to love them. And my mother is obliged to love the babies that come out of her body. A mother is obliged to love the babies that come out of her body. A mother cannot help but to love the babies that come out of her body. Annabella and Riviera are children that she is compelled to love, that she is obliged to love. So her loving them isn't a great act of kindness, it is simply expected. Yet her love for me is not simply expected. It is something she chose to bestow upon me. And I so owe her. I owe it to her to help her. I owe it to her to help her family. I owe her in a way that my sisters don't. And so I am obliged to make sacrifices for this family, to go hungry for this family, so that my sisters can eat. Because they are not beholden to this family in the way that I am. They do not owe my mother in the way that I do. So I curl in on myself tighter and I cry. For some strange, unfathomable reason, I feel so very betrayed. I cannot stop feeling this way. I come home from school. It's been 2 months since that fateful day when my mother took me to my room and told me what I would have to do. It's been 2 months and I have felt myself getting weaker and weaker and weaker. I don't know how I'll be able to hold on these many long months. I don't know how I'll be able to live through this, but I have to live through it, and so I force myself to go on. I get to my room, being followed by my mother. "How was school today?" she asks me with concern dripping through her voice. She loves me, even now, when she's been forced to make such a horrible decision. She loves me. Yet why can I not make myself believe this? It was okay, I reply, exhaustion dripping through my voice. School wasn't actually okay. I was so hungry the whole time, as I always am. That's good. She closes the door and I hear the telltale click of the lock. I've mostly been locked in my room these past 2 months. It makes sense. I understand that I probably wouldn't be able to stop myself from going to the fridge if I could. So locking the door just ensures that I can't do that. Just ensures that I can't steal food. I miss being able to interact with my family. I miss it so very much. I didn't know that I would miss it so much. I'm all alone now. There's no one with me, no one to share my time with, no one to share my experiences with, no one to listen to and talk to and interact with. It's just me, alone with my thoughts in my own room, in a house that doesn't feel like it's mine, that has never felt like it was mine. Hunger claws at my gut like a vicious, hungry beast with sharp teeth and sharp claws. It bites and scratches at all my insides. My stomach hurts so much, my ribs hurt so much, my chest cavity hurts so much, my arms and legs hurt. My head feels light and dizzy. It all hurts, it hurts, it hurts. It hurts unbearably, and I feel like screaming in pain, yet I am far too weak to scream. Not that it would make much of a difference anyways. All that would happen is that I would get in trouble. I'm helpless, I'm locked in this room and I'm helpless and I can't get out. I'm trapped, and there's nothing I can do. All I can do is claw desperately at my mind for an escape, for a release, for a relief and a salvation that I know is not coming. The beast inside of me and me myself are both trapped, are both hungering, are both begging to be let out. But the beast in me can eat my insides. I cannot. Though actually I am eating myself. My body has run out of fat to digest into carbohydrates probably. It's probably digesting my muscles and my organs and my epithelial tissue now, burning through my cells to extract precious energy, a process which has been evolved into my bloodline over millions of years. See, it's natural what's happening to me. My hunger is natural. It's something that my body is ready for, something that my body has been ready for so many years. The biological processes that guide starvation are processes that have existed for eons. They are processes that have been building and developing within us since we were just single cells, since we were just prokaryotes. So it's okay to starve sometimes. There is nothing wrong with starving sometimes. And anyways, because I'm starving, that means that my mother and my sisters can eat. My sisters especially can eat. They need to be able to eat. They need to be able to get the calories they need. I love them. I really do love them a lot. And I need to do what I can do in order to help them. If that means not eating, then so be it. I will bear it, no matter what it takes from me, no matter how much it hurts. But part of me doesn't love my family. Part of me holds it against them, what they are doing to me. Part of me is deeply, deeply betrayed, is rueful, jealous, bitter. I am rueful, jealous, bitter. I am full of hatred and bitterness, and part of me wants to get revenge for what they've put me through. But I cannot get revenge. I am simply one person with no money, no power, no property, no abilities, no resources, no support, no help. There is nothing I can do about my situation. I'm a teenage girl locked in a room all by myself. There is nothing I can do. Perhaps this is why my mother was able to do this to me, because she knew I was weaker than her. She knew I couldn't fight back. But I feel so guilty for hating my family. I feel so guilty for wanting revenge. This simply proves that I am rotten inside. It simply proves that I am unholy, ungrateful, unworthy. I know that the good and right thing for me to do would be to be strong and silently bear the burden of my situation. But for some reason, I find myself unable to do that. I am finding myself unable to do what I know is good and right. How on earth could I be so selfish? This just proves that I don't actually deserve to eat. I lie in my bed, which is what I have found myself doing so very often, and I cry. I think about reading a book to try to take my mind away from the hunger. I think about it, but I know it won't work. I've tried reading before. I've tried thinking other thoughts and getting my mind off the hunger. Nothing has worked. All the time, my emotions are consumed by the all-consuming ache of hunger. Even when my mind is distracted, it doesn't matter that my mind is distracted because my heart isn't. It's all-consuming. It consumes every part of me, taking more and more and more until there is nothing left. All I am is a constant, insatiable need, an overarching and overwhelming ache. I am burning, burning, burning. Every part of me is burning, and yet at the same time I am freezing, freezing, freezing. Every part of me is freezing. The pain is a screaming sort of pain, and I cannot bear it. I cannot bear it, but bear it I must. And throughout this whole time, my emotional misery has not subsided. I'm still as sad as I was before, as torn and ripped and poisoned. The poison is still seeping through me, and my mind and my heart are swept away in the poison storm. Except now, along with the emotional pain, there is also physical pain. There is physical pain that is just as strong as the emotional pain, and the two types of pain are interlaced throughout each other as two sides of the same coin. I breathe, and the breath comes ragged and jagged. Everything inside me is ragged and jagged. Everything about me is ragged and jagged. It has been for a long, long while, as long as I can remember, but it's worse now. Now the parts of my mind that I could suppress somewhat before are more bold and loud than they have ever been. They tell me that I am not loved, I am not loved, I am not loved. I know that I'm not loved, I know that I'm loved, that I must be loved. But the feeling that I am not overcomes me. The feeling that no one in the universe truly cares for me overcomes me and overwhelms me, and I try so very hard to not listen to it, but there is nothing that I can do but for listening to it, despite all my best efforts. But still, I tell myself that I am wrong, I am wrong, I am wrong. I tell myself that I am loved. Now if only I could believe myself. The hunger was terrible the first day when I had no food, when I had only one meal that day, the first day I starved. It was so terrible, so painful, so unbearable. It was such violence on my body, violence on my mind, violence on my heart, violence on my soul. There was so much violence and there was so much devastation. I did not think it could possibly get worse. But get worse it did. Every day that I went without food, the pain built up and built up and built up. It was more unbearable each day, and each day all I could do was bear it, and each day I was pushed further and further past the limits of what my body could tolerate. Each day I was pushed further past the limits of what I thought myself capable of tolerating. It was and still is a small kindness that I was used to unbearable pain my whole life, despite that pain being not quite as physical. It was still physical. My past emotional pain, the pain that I've been dealing with my whole life, it still had a physical aspect to it. It just wasn't as ingrainedly physical as this hunger. Though of course the hunger affects my heart and my mind as well. Sadness and hunger are both deeply physical, they are both deeply emotional, they are both deeply unbearable. I went to school each day and nobody noticed. Nobody notices what I'm going through. I'm always quiet, I'm always subdued, so my exhaustion is not really noticed. In a way, I was always exhausted anyways. A couple of teachers asked me why I had lost so much weight. I guess they noticed. I simply told them that I wasn't as hungry as I used to be. A bold-faced lie, but one they believed. They didn't pursue it any further. They simply let me be. So I ate my lunch at school and I went back home and got locked in my room, which is where I am right now, lying in my soft bed, crying. I think about screaming, yelling, banging against the door, begging for help and food and attention, but I know that it will be pointless. I know that no help will come. It will just be a waste of energy, and I have no energy to waste. I think about what could happen if I tried to fight my mother, if I tried to run to the fridge and get food before she could lock me in my room. I know that would be pointless as well. In my weakened state, she is much stronger than me, and I couldn't fight my mother and my sisters at the same time anyways. There is nothing I can do about my situation. There is nothing that I can do. There is literally nothing that I can do. Not that I should struggle, not that I should fight. My mother sacrificed so much to take care of me. She gave so much to take care of me. I owe it to her to sacrifice for her back. I know this, and I tell myself this again and again and again. But it doesn't stop the pain. Actually, it just makes the pain so much worse. It makes all the pain so much worse in all its aspects. I tell myself that I shouldn't struggle against this, but each and every day that I go home hungry, the struggling and desperate part of my mind gets louder and louder, harder and harder to ignore. I don't know what will happen when I can't ignore it any longer. I have been here for 3 months. I have starved myself. I have been starved for 3 months, and I'm going to die. Desperation is banging its fists on my insides. Desperation is screaming its throat raw in every part inside me. Hunger gnaws at my bones, gnaws at my gut, gnaws at my flesh and at my blood. I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this anymore. My mind is screaming at me to stop this. My mind is screaming at me to make this stop. Except I can't make this stop. I don't have that kind of power. I don't have any power. All I can do is let this happen to me, no matter how desperate, no matter how infuriated I am, and I am going to die. I just know that I'm going to die. Death looms over me. It watches everything that I do. It is like a shadow over me. It is like my shadow, trailing behind my each and every thought, my each and every action. It is a dreadful presence, constantly pressing upon my mind, constantly pressing upon my heart. Death is my only companion these days, and I do not know whether I am grateful for this companion or not. I do not know whether I am grateful for this pressing presence or not. Part of me wants to die. Part of me wants to just let this all go, to let this jagged, tearing, grating existence go. The universe knows that there is nothing good about life. The universe knows that there's nothing worthwhile in existing. I feel guilty for thinking this because I know this train of thought is not really allowed, but still, it's true, it's true, it's true, and no amount of judgment will stop it from being so horribly, undeniably true. But despite all this, despite how hard my life is, how hard it's always been, I just cannot bear to let my life go. There is something inside me, stronger than 1,000 hurricanes, that wants to live, that wants so desperately to live. It won't let me go on. It won't let me let go of this life, no matter how much I want to, no matter how much I try. I don't know where this part of me came from. I don't know if it's new or if it's always been there. But it feels older than anything has ever felt before. It feels older than I am. It feels ancient. The part of me that wants to live tells me that I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. It doesn't matter how, but I need to get out of here. I have to find a way to leave this place. I have to find a way to get some food, no matter what it will cost me, no matter who I will end up having to betray, no matter what I will end up having to do. But no, I can't think that. I can't let myself think that. I have to be loyal to my family. I have to be loyal to the people who took me in and took care of me and raised me. This means I have to listen to my mother, and I have to do what she told me, and I have to make the sacrifices she has called upon me to make. I owe her that much. I owe them all that much. No matter how unbearably much all of this hurts, no matter what I feel in my body and in my heart and in my mind and in my soul. But as I am lying here in my bed, cold despite the fact that it's summer, cold despite the fact that I'm under many blankets, I ache. I ache so much. My entire body aches, but it's so much more than just my body. My entire soul aches, my mind aches, my heart aches, every part of me aches. It's as if I have thousands of clawing nails in my chest, in my stomach, in my abdomen, in my back. It's as if I am being torn apart, being disintegrated from the inside out. It's as if there is a fire in my limbs, fire in my core, fire all over me that is slowly, slowly burning me away. I feel faint and weak and lightheaded and dizzy. I am so dizzy, so very dizzy. It's as if I am on the verge of unconsciousness, though I suppose that I am. I'm not just on the verge of unconsciousness, I'm on the verge of death. I'm about to die. I'm about to die. It takes so much effort and concentration to keep myself here. It takes so much effort and concentration to keep holding on to my consciousness and my life. It's exhausting, so exhausting. I'm exhausted, so exhausted. I almost want to give in. I almost want to let go of my tentative hold on life. I almost want to let death take me, and so I do. I do let go. My mind is falling, falling, falling. My entire consciousness is falling, falling, falling. This is liberation. It's freedom. I bolt upright in bed, using a heaving bellow of energy I didn't know I had. I feel fear, I feel fear, I feel an incredible surge of fear pulsing through my body, blaring through my mind, ripping through my soul. All I can feel is this fear. I can't let myself die, I can't let myself die, I can't let myself die. I don't know why. Dying would honestly be better, but I can't let myself do that. I want to die, I want to die, I so very much want to die, but the feeling that pushes through my body and pulls me to action is my desire to live, and my desire to live might not be stronger than my desire to die, but it's the desire that gives me energy, it's the desire that forces my actions, it's the desire that makes me act. It makes me act, and no other action can push through my mind and manifest as action. I need to live. I have to get out of here. I have to get out of here. I'll die if I don't get out of here. They're trying to kill me. They're trying to kill me. It doesn't make sense why they're trying to kill me, but at the same time, it makes perfect sense. I'm not really a part of this family. I'm not really a part of these people. If they had to sacrifice someone, if they had to sacrifice anyone, they'd choose me. But it doesn't matter what the reason is. I won't let them do this. I won't let them, I won't let them, I won't let them. They won't win, they won't win, they won't win. I can't let them win. But I wonder, will I lose? I have to think of a plan to get out of here now. I have to get out of here now. Out of this locked room, out of this false, sugary, heartless house. Out of this piece of land, and maybe even out of this community. I have to get out, I have to get out, I have to get out. If I stay here, then that will be it, I will be done. But if I get out, then that will be rebellion, that will be rebellion, and that will be revolution. It will be mutually assured destruction. And I don't care if I destroy myself, as long as I bring the plans of my not mother and my not sisters with me. I step on my hard wooden desk. The window is as big as I am. I open the window to my room, and then I step onto the windowsill, holding the edges of the frame in both hands. There is a large aspen tree brushing against the window. I reach out to grab it, and then climb it down. It feels like nothing I have ever felt before, being up in this tree. It feels like protection, like love, like comfort, like care. The last 10 feet or so, I have to jump down. There are no tree branches here, only trunk. I feel fear wash over me, but I realize that if I don't jump, I will quite literally die in this tree on my not mother's land. And so I do jump, and I hit the ground, and it hurts, and it hurts, and it hurts so much. My arms and legs ache overwhelmingly, and I feel as if I have died. But I haven't died, and I won't die. Not if the desperation inside me has anything to say about it. I know that I have to get up. The thing that I have to do next is to get up and start walking. So, despite how weak and dizzy I am, despite how smothered and aching I am, I have to get up, and I have to use the last remaining bits of my energy to start walking. The last remaining bits of my energy, the last remaining bits of my energy. I know right now that my energy is slipping through my fingers. I know right now that I have barely any energy left. I don't know where my ability to move is even coming from at this point, but the point still stands that I have this ability. I have this ability still, and I have to use it. I have to use it in order to get myself out of here. So I push myself up, and I pray. I don't know who I pray to. All the gods of my past have come from the mouth of my not mother. All the gods of my past have been the gods that she believed in, and I cannot believe in those same gods, not after everything she has done to me, not after everything she has done to me year after year after year after year for all my life. But I know there are better gods out there. I know there are deeper gods out there. Gods which she doesn't know about and which she will never understand. I don't know who they are, but I pray to them. I pray to them to give me strength and help me. I start walking through the thick woods outside my bedroom window, the thick woods that are cover for now, the woods that are help for now. The woods are strength, they have always been strength, and right now the strength they give me is pressing into me, is filling me with courage, is filling me with hope. The trees cover me, the shrubs and bushes cover me, the herbs and grasses cover me, the mosses and lichens cover me, and they all conceal my form and give me their power as I walk towards the thin, twisting road that connects the house to the main road. I continue walking towards the end of the road connecting my mother's property to the main road. I do not get on this road because I do not want to be seen. Instead, I follow the road, hiding in the tree cover beside it, in the thick tapestry of tall forest that will cover me. I thank the trees for their help, and I hear them thank me back. For what purpose, I do not know why. They cover me, they protect me, they hide me from prying eyes. They are alive, they are alive, they are so very alive, and they give me life. And for that, I am awestruck. I keep walking. It is beyond arduous, the simple act of walking. It is nearly impossible. But I push myself on, I push myself on, and I push myself on, and I push myself on. Through my exhaustion, through my aching, through everything inside me that is screaming at me to lay down and die. The part of me that is screaming at me to go on and live is more powerful. And so, even though each step requires tremendous effort, even though each step is an ache, each step is a feat of incredible strength, and each step requires immeasurable force, I go on. I finally reach the place where the main road connects to the property. I am away from the little town that exists in the trees. I am on the highway now. I will miss the forest dearly, but I won't miss the people who live in it. I feel like it took forever getting here, but here I am, and the next part of my journey is complete. I slip through the gate and look out at the road. I have two choices in front of me now. I could go southwest to the city, or I could go northeast to the highway. I think for a moment. If I go to the city, it will be easier for me to find something to eat, some source of food, some helpful person, anything at all. It will be easier for me to beg or even dumpster dive for food. But they'll all be expecting me to go to the city. When my mother inevitably calls the police, they will all think that I went to the city for the aforementioned reasons, not the highway. And if I take the highway, there's a lower chance of me being found. But still, there are a lot more places to hide in the city. There are many more streets, and there are many more alleys and nooks and crannies. In the highway, there is only one stretch of road. I make a decision. I'll go to the city. Yes, maybe I'll be found, but maybe I'll find a way to live. My chances are much higher there, and there aren't really any good options. I just have to do what is the best option. This is so unfair. It's so unfair that I have to be doing this. It's so unfair that I have to leave my whole life behind. I have to leave my home behind. And yet my whole life has never truly been mine. And my home has never truly been mine either. It has only been the place I was forced to stay in back when I didn't know any better and couldn't question what I'd been taught. I have never had a home. I have never had a life. I had only had survival, and now I might not even have that. It's unfair. It's unfair. It's so very unfair. I start crying. I know I'm wasting energy. I know I'm wasting water, but I can't help myself. It's also very unfair, and the emotions inside me are swirling and whirling and completely maddening. I have to get these emotions out somehow. I have to communicate what I'm feeling somehow, even if I'm just communicating with rows and rows of trees, with the rows and rows of trees that line the road as it stretches towards the city. I have never had a way to communicate what I was feeling inside. I have never had a way to communicate that, and I have always had to keep it to myself. I always had to keep everything to myself, and that's so unfair. That's so deeply unfair. And I just have to let it out now. I have to tell the trees, I have to tell the grass, I have to tell the wind, I have to tell the sun, I have to tell the earth, I have to tell the sky. The sun shines bright up above me, and there are no clouds to be seen. And yet I'm so cold, I'm so cold, I'm so very deeply cold. Yet despite that, the sky is blue above me, and it is bright, it is brilliant, it is alive, and it gives me some of its energy, it gives me some of its vitality, it gives me some of its spirit, it gives me some of its life. The earth is firm and strong and full of life beneath me. It is life, it is death, it is life and death together as one. And it holds me, it supports me, it gives me strength. The sun is a fire, and it fuels the fire inside me. It keeps the fire that is in me alive so that I can stay alive. Each and every breath that I take connects me with the world. It connects me with the spirit of life that is in all of nature. And it is glorious, glorious, so much more glorious than anything I have ever experienced before. I cry from happiness just as much as I cry from the pain. I cry from the happiness that comes with the fact that this world loves me, this world loves me, this world loves me. The earth and the air and the fire and the water and the sun and the moon all love me just as much, just as strongly, just as deeply as they love anyone else. And I realize this now, and on the brink of death, I feel more alive than I ever have been. And yet that doesn't change the fact that I have no shelter. I have no shelter. I have no food. I don't even have a jacket. I don't know how I'll get food or shelter or warm clothes or anything else. I don't know how I'll get my needs met. I don't know how I'll crawl back from the brink of death. And all of that is unfair. It's unfair. It's so unfair. And that is part of what makes me cry, because I have nothing. I have nothing. I have nothing to give anyone in exchange for food, for resources, for life. But still, I find myself able to think about the injustices that plague me. I find myself able to call out the fact that I have nothing, even if it's in the silence of my mind. I find myself able to tell myself that I deserve equality, I deserve help, I deserve everything I need. I deserve life. I wonder why I'm able to tell myself this. Perhaps it's because I have come to the realization that I need to protect myself and provide for myself if I am to stay alive. Perhaps because I am desperate to stay alive, and I know that the only way I can do that is if I realize that I deserve life. And yet I'm so tired, I'm so tired, I'm so tired. But crying, I push myself to continue on through the pain and through the ardor and through the exhaustion. In front of me, a large truck is lumbering by. But strangely enough, instead of going on down the road, it pulls over to the shoulder of the road, the strip of pavement that no vehicles can drive on. The truck pulls over a few yards in front of me. I wonder why. I know it's none of my business, but I can't help but be curious. A man gets out of the truck and climbs down. His hair is dark like mine. His eyes are dark too. He looks straight at me and starts coming towards me. Am I about to get kidnapped? Maybe. Fear pierces through my chest. What if he comes to capture me? I can't fight him off. I can't do anything. I'll just have to let him take me to wherever he takes me to. Dear universe, why does my life have to keep getting worse and worse? The man stops a few paces away from me. He drops to his knees in front of me, and that makes him seem much less intimidating. The fear in my heart gets replaced by confusion. Are you crying? He asks me with a soft and kind voice. I nod my head. Okay, do you want to come with me? I can drive you to the city if that's where you're going. It's really not safe to be walking by the side of the highway like this. I think about his offer. It will save me a lot of energy if he drives me to the city, and I know that energy is very precious to me right now. He doesn't seem to be a dangerous man. He has a kind face and kind eyes. There is a deep sadness behind his eyes. There is a deep hope as well. I think I'm safe with him, and a free ride is probably the nicest offer I'm going to get in my life. Okay, I speak. He holds my hand as we go to the truck. It's a rather large truck. He helps me get on into the passenger side before getting on himself into the driver's side. It's not much warmer in the truck than it is out on the road, but I get to sit down and lean against the seat and relax, and I feel like I'll never be able to get up again. I am so deeply tired. My name is Chandro, the man tells me as we drive in the direction of the city. What's your name? Zia, I tell him. Or at least that's what everybody calls me. It's great to meet you, Zia. It's great to meet you too. If you don't mind me asking, are you okay? You were walking by the side of the road and you look so very thin. I wonder if I should answer honestly. I wonder if he'll turn me in if he knows. I haven't been eating nearly enough for almost 3 months, I finally decide to say, truthfully. Almost 3 months? That's absolutely horrible, child. You're going to die. He reaches down and pulls out a small reusable grocery bag. There's food in here. Tomato soup and a few sandwiches and chocolate milk. Eat it all, please. I can't have you die. Isn't it your food, though? I ask him. I will not take advantage of Chandro's generosity. Don't you need it? I can go a few meals without eating, he replies to me. You are going to die. You need to eat right now. Please, please eat. Thank you so much, I exclaim, beyond myself in gratitude. I unscrew the lid from the flask of tomato soup and start eating it by the spoonful. I make sure to pace myself so that I don't go too fast, so that I can keep all of this precious food inside my body. If you don't mind me asking, he begins, where are you going? I'm running away from my home, I decide to tell him the truth. My family, well, they're not really my family. They were starving me. Oh my God, that's deeply horrible, Chandro exclaims. I'm glad you escaped. You won't turn me in, will you? Of course not. Do you have anywhere to go, though? No. I deeply wish I could give him a different answer, but I can't. You could come live with me if you wanted, he offers. I'm on the road a lot since I'm a truck driver, but my wife, she's a librarian. She can take care of you. We would treat you well, I promise. Really? I cannot believe what I'm hearing. But there's no way for me to make it up for you. I have nothing to pay you back with. It's okay, he responds. We don't want anything in return. We don't want anything. We just want to make sure that you're okay and that you have a home and food and people to take care of you. Thank you so much. Think nothing of it. It's the least we could do. Anyways, we're in the city now. I can stop to get you some food. We have a few days of journey ahead of us, and you need to eat and rebuild your body. Are you going to get some food for yourself too? I don't have the money to right now. I didn't think to bring that much money, but I'll be fine. You're going to die if you don't eat. It's much more important that you eat. Are you sure? I cannot believe what he is saying. Why would he put me, a stranger who he just met, above his own well-being? Why would he put my needs over his, especially after he knows that there's nothing I could give him? Yes, his voice is pressing and absolutely certain, and I cannot say no to that. I finish the tomato soup and bite into the sandwich. I am tired, so very tired, but it feels as if, for the first time that I can even remember, I am able to actually and truly rest.